Hi there, I'm Namish Patel Owen, and you're listening to Live Your True Self, episode number 127. After 18 years doing corporate, in 2018 it became about doing me, doing what I love. Not that long ago, I too felt stuck, lost, and longing to be something more, asking myself, who am I anyway, and what's my purpose? Full of self-doubt and fear of failure, fast forward to this moment and you'll see a version of me that's true to myself, calm, confident and clear, even in the messiness. Inspired by Krishna's words in the Bhagavad Gita, the mind can be the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So perspective is everything. No matter where you are on your spiritual journey as a high achiever, I'm here to guide you. Together we'll step out of your head, the busyness in your mind, and drop into your heart so that you too can awaken your true self and live life more meaningfully in this moment. Take a deep breath and let's connect within. Welcome back, lovely one. I'm so grateful you're here. Let's have a conversation today, me and you. Have you ever wanted something so deeply, but it just felt out of reach? You try to stay positive and patient, but you can't help doubting and questioning and perhaps even thinking maybe this is just not meant to be. Today, I want to share a simple story that beautifully shows how life doesn't always respond to what we want. It responds to who we're being. And that comes from what we're thinking, feeling, and doing or not doing. And this happened recently with our 12-year-old daughter, Naya, who had a situation and it's been on my mind. So I thought I'd bring it here to the podcast. So let me share the story with you, and then I will give you some of my thoughts and bring it back to you so that you have something to take away and how to bring this to life in practice. So Naya has 2 activity days at school coming up before the end of the summer term in July. And there's a long list of fun things the school puts on and makes available that the children can choose from, both on-site at school and off-site, kind of excursions and activities and events. And it's all about team building and movement, adventure and fun, and kind of just doing something different outside of the normal curriculum. Literally, I think it's on the last 2 days before they finish. And anyway, she was deciding what to do for the 2 days from this whole list of things to do. And after chatting with her friends, she decided that she wanted to do an aqua park event, which is, a fun water park off-site on the Monday, and a photography class on-site at school on the Tuesday, which was perfect. And so we'd spoken about this and we were all set to book her on to these 2 events on a portal that would open at a given time on a particular day, and all would be well. So when the online portal opened up, we went to book both of these, and would you believe it? Both events sold out almost instantly. There were something like 144 places on the aqua park, and I think it was about 24 on the photography class. But anyway, we were all set up and we went to book, and they were both fully subscribed. And we couldn't believe it. And she was so disappointed. And so was I for her. Anyway, we joined the waiting list, and eventually we found out that that was about 30 plus people long. And that evening we basically just decided that I would perhaps follow up with the lady who's in charge to find out the process in terms of the waiting list and what best to do, because we didn't know whether to book onto something else or just hold out for the waiting list. Anyway, after calling the next day to find out how the waiting list process works, I was told that we're actually near the bottom. And so realistically, it wasn't looking likely, and that we should book on to something else so as not to miss out on other things. And so when I told Naira about that the following day, she was so upset and in tears, because going back to school, she found out that all her friends had got booked on to the activities that she wanted to do. And she kind of felt like she was the only one who's going to miss out, and she didn't want to do anything else. And I felt for her. I really did feel for her. I know she had her heart set on these things, and we were just so frustrated that she didn't get it. So anyway, we had a little heart to heart, sat with the feelings of sadness and disappointment and frustration. And I said to her, just put it out there. Trust that if it's meant to be and you're meant to do these things, a space will open up for you. And if it's not, that's okay. We'll find something else. We've joined the waiting list. And so if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, that's okay. We'll find something else. And she kind of like rolled her eyes, as you'd expect. But anyway, she had no choice really but to get on board. And, clearly she was not happy. Anyway, we left it for a week or two to just let things settle down. And the booking system was open for about 4 weeks, I think, over the Easter period. Anyway, in the meantime, I encouraged her to choose something else and to go through the list and find out, from any of her other friends, if anyone she knows who's doing something else that she might be up for. Just so that she wouldn't miss out completely, and that, we took action and booked her onto something else. But she was so reluctant and had her heart set on the two activities she wanted to do, and she didn't want to do anything else. But she knew that she had to find a way, and so she chose another activity, having spoke to someone, another friend who was doing it, albeit like she wasn't overly keen. It was not the thing she wanted to do. Both things were on site, and she was ideally looking for something to go off site. But anyway, she knew she had to do it. So a few days later, she said to me, "Mum," it was a card making workshop or something, and she said, "Mum, just book the card making workshop." And I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, but you don't want to do it." She's like, "I know, but what choice do I have?" And she was like not in the right energy. Anyway, I kind of just like sat with it and I let it be. But something in me said to wait, and that's what I did. And it was not from force and not from denial, but it was from a quiet inner knowing that, you know what, let's just wait. And so I didn't book it. And, a couple of days after that, she kept on asking me, "Have you booked it? Have you booked it? Have you booked it?" I was like, nope. And I just said to her, let's just let it be. Let's just let it be. And that was that. And then something shifted. A few days later, I received an email, and guess what? A space had opened up for the aqua park. And also, coincidentally, almost at the same time on that day, Naya messaged me saying, "Mum, can you check the portal? I think there may be some spaces that have been opened up," because she went to speak to the lady organising it just to find out. And so, I'd already got notification, and she'd already got notification. And there you have it. And just like that, she was booked on. And I booked her onto the portal. It was only for that one, for the aquapark thing. Only the one day the photography class was booked up, and that's fine because it had limited spaces anyway. But I texted her and just said, "You're all booked." And she just texted me back and she said, "Thank you, Krishna." So like, thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you. And she got exactly what she wanted. And of course, she was super, super pleased. Now, here's the deeper truth. It wasn't just because she and I wanted it. It was because of who we were being. We weren't defeated. We didn't collapse into, it's not going to happen. What's the point? We might as well just give up. We might as well just book onto something else. I mean, we could have done, but we stayed open. We trusted. We had faith. We were patient, and we acted as if it was still possible. And even though we did those things, we felt the hard feelings. I invited Naya certainly to sit with the sadness and the disappointment and the frustration and the fear of missing out. And at the same time, we were realistic. And we were aware, eyes wide open, because there was a deadline. And if nothing came through, i.e., we didn't make it through to the wait list and active onto a position, then we would have to choose differently. We would pivot and we would stay in control and choose again and get on board with that choice as if it's meant to be for our higher good. And this is really important. It's not just about sitting back and doing nothing, and just kind of waiting. You're on a waiting list and you're just waiting. It's about holding possibility without losing presence, without losing belief, and acting and pivoting when you need to, and not making that mean anything bad. Simply seeing it for what it is. And this is exactly what we did. And in the moment, I wasn't quite sure what would happen. Clearly, I didn't know. But I just felt this inkling, it was like this gut intuition that, what, I feel something here and I'm going to hold out. And that's what we did. And I'm so, so grateful we did. So thank you for letting me share that simple story with you. I hope it sparks something for you and that you can see some goodness and some growth from this lived experience from Naya and I. But let me ask you, how does this apply to you? Because so often in life, you say you want something. Maybe it's, the new job, the promotion, the new home, better health, stronger, healthier, fitter body. Whatever it might be, you want something. We all do. But with love, underneath that, let me ask you, who are you being? Who are you truly being on the inside and on the outside? What day-to-day choices are you making in service of what you want? What are you communicating to the universe, the divine, God, Krishna, whatever you believe in? What are you communicating, knowingly or unknowingly? Because life doesn't respond to just our words. It responds to our energy, our state, our identity, and what you think and do, and what you don't think and do. So you don't receive what you want by simply wanting it. You receive who you're being how you're acting by what you want, right? You receive who you're being, and that will unfold in front of you based on what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you're acting. And it's important to say, and I've shared this often in the podcast before, that you can hold space for the sadness, the disappointment, the frustration, the upset. And you can hold the feelings of trust and belief and faith and confidence and determination, like whatever it is, you can hold space for both, because life is 50-50 and we get to feel all the feelings. So even if you feel upset and disappointed, that's fine. The universe will feel that, but equally you get to feel the trust and belief, and the universe will also receive that too and feel that too. So if you truly want something, you have a goal, a desire, a dream, something big, something small, no matter what it is, we all want something we don't yet have. Here's what I would invite you to do. 4 simple steps. Number 1, think. Think, this is possible for me. Not forced, not loud, not pushy, not urgent, just a calm, grounded, deep-rooted belief that this, whatever it is for you, is possible for me. Number 2, feel. Feel open and available and steady, not desperate or urgent or from a place of pressure. Feel ready to receive. Desperation repels. Urgency just creates pressure and anxiety. But trust and belief expands. Trust and belief is what radiates. Number 3, act. Take aligned action, one small step at a time, towards who you need to be to achieve what you want. So it's not just about taking small steps in the doing what you need to do to achieve what you want, but take small steps towards who you need to be. Who do you need to be to achieve what you want? Keep showing up, stay committed, stay hungry, stay focused on what you want, stay focused on who you need to be, and reset when you need to, because our brain will have a meltdown. It will freak out. It will go off course. It will go off on a tangent. It will spin. It will do that washing machine cycle that we spoke about last week. But we get to reset, and you get to stay focused on what you want and who you need to be. And you get to make decisions in service of what you want, and know that you can pivot, you can change course, you can course correct when needed. But don't act from fear. Like, notice if fear is in your body, and it can be, but reset, go back to the thought, this is possible for me. And that will take you away from fear and perhaps into neutral, perhaps into a place of calm, and then act. And act then from love, self-trust, and belief in the possibility of receiving what you want, by being the version of you who has what you want. So it's almost this idea of visualization, and that's a beautiful action to take, which is to visualize that you are the person who has what you want. What does she think? What does she feel? What would she be doing? How would she be carrying herself? What would she be wearing? How would she go about her day? What choices would she make? What would she do? What wouldn't she do? And you get to do that now before the thing has unfolded or before the thing has happened. You get to be that version of yourself in the now. So number 3 is act. And number 4, gently hold both. Hold the desire of the goal happening and stay rooted in the present, in the here and now, as it is, with acceptance for what it is, and without attachment of what you want. So there's a lot in there. Hold the desire of the goal, which is obviously a future outcome, and also stay rooted in the here and now. Stay rooted in the present moment, the version of you that is working towards the goal and becoming and being the version of you need to be to have what you want, and staying lovingly and gently unattached to the outcome. We simply get to do the actions. We simply get to show up and do the things and know that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it will unfold and it will come to us when and if it's meant to. And that's exactly what Naya and I did in our scenario, open to receiving, yet grounded enough to pivot if we needed to. And I love the idea and teaching from the Gita on equanimity that it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And so if that goal or that desire is meant for you, just know that it will happen. And if it happens, it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And if it doesn't happen, it's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And this keeps life moving so beautifully in this beautiful state of equanimity and unattachment. So why does this matter? This is your growth, lovely one, because when you shift who you're being, you don't just get the results and the outcomes that you desire and that are meant for you. You become the person who can hold it. You become the person who makes it happen. The job or promotion, the home, the health, the relationship, the body, the energy, the person who you truly want to be. And it all requires a version of you who is already aligned. You just have to tap into that version of you. So today, ask yourself, what do I truly want? Reconnect with that goal, desire, intention, whatever it might be. What do I truly want? And you can pick what area of life that is, whether that's something personal or something professional in your work or career. And more importantly, ask yourself, who am I being as I move towards this goal or desire? Spend a little time journaling, or perhaps take this for a walk and get specific in terms of what you're thinking and what you're doing, the actions you're taking, and the actions you need to take or want to take in service of that goal and desire. And if your being moves you closer, if who you're being moves you closer, great, keep going. If who you're being is moving you away from your goal or desire, restricting you or preventing you from receiving what you truly want, notice it without judgment and gently readjust, right? Just change, notice it and give it some love, let it go, and then decide what you want to be thinking, feeling, and doing. Because when what you want and who you're being align, life in its own spiritual and magical way has a beautiful way of meeting you there. So there you have it. Receive what you want by focusing on who you're being. If something from today's episode resonated, I would love to hear your reflections. You are always welcome to send me a note, whether that's via email or on socials. And if you're ready to become the next version of yourself and live life more meaningfully in this next chapter of your life, you can book a clarity call with me for one-on-one coaching. Simply email support@namishpatelowen.com. Remember, the universe doesn't give us what we want. The universe gives us who we're being. Be sure to tap into who you're being and become the version of you that achieves what you want. Until next time, keep shining your lights and may you always live your true self. Namaste. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Live Your True Self podcast. If you're ready to go deeper into your spiritual growth journey, visit me at namishpatelowen.com to learn more about my work and how I can guide you. And be sure you're signed up for Yoga Life Weekly, your love note to inspire who you're being while you're doing. And also subscribe to Yoga Life with Namisha over on YouTube for simple, practical meditations and teachings you can live by every day. It's an honor to guide you in reconnecting with who you truly are. Bye for now.